Hello and welcome to Horror Ghouls After Dark. These are our episodes where we talk about whatever we want. It's horror related, often, usually. Uh, and yeah, I mean, normally we talk about horror reviews. We are going to talk about some more horror review type things today. Spoiler free, always as promised. So,
Yes.
just as a reminder, we are your horror ghouls. I'm Megan,
Auntie?
and welcome. We're happy to have you. We actually just both saw the same movie. We're
Yeah.
in different states. We went a day apart, but we're going to talk about a movie we saw. We'll get into that in a moment. I think we're going to talk about first some of the trailers that we
Yes.
saw because normally, you guys, if you haven't been to the movies in a while, they do typically show trailers that align with the movie you are seeing. So this is relevant to our interests, right?
To a certain extent, because I found that some of my trailers did not
Oh, I'm
match up
very
with what I was
interested
going to
then.
say.
I think
Yeah.
we already determined just in a quick conversation, um, we it doesn't appear we saw the same like trailer package.
Yeah.
So I'm interested to see. So take it away. What do you got?
So the very first one I saw was Mission Impossible, and
I
it's
did
the
see that
last
one.
one. So Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Um, and obviously that's Tom Cruise and some other people, right?
Right, of course.
But yeah, I always, when I see Mission Impossible, I honestly like these movies. I haven't seen a whole lot of them, but I have
Okay.
seen quite a few. And I saw like one thing about Tom Cruise, whether you like him or you don't like him, he is a phenomenal stunt actor because he does
Sure.
all his stunts all the time. And that man is like 90 years old now, still doing these
And
stunts.
he doesn't look 90, so he's doing pretty
No.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, he is. In fact, I saw like a not spoiler, but I saw like he was doing a stunt and broke his ankle jumping across a roof.
Oh
And
my
because he
God.
said this is the only shot we have, he like just got up and started running past the camera. But then they had to stop filming for a few weeks because he broke his ankle. Like, and they showed the shot where he like jumped
Oh,
across and his like foot hit an ankle hit the wall and bent all the way back because of how he jumped
oh
over.
my
But he
God.
he definitely got up and kind of hobbled past the camera.
You know what's crazy though is
So
like as a person, like so I broke like my ankle foot, like some stuff, bad stuff happened. And as a person who experienced similar pain, like I'm sure it's not exactly the same, I cannot fathom doing that. And it happens to me. And I feel like I have a decently high tolerance for pain. And the fact that he was like, let's get it done. And I was like, I was totally like incapacitated. That's wild. Wow.
funny enough, I've broken both my ankles twice. So I've
Oh
broken
no.
4 times. And by
That's,
the fourth time I had broken my ankle, I was a pro like that. I was able to get up and walk to my mom's car and say, "Hey, I think I broke my ankle again."
that's crazy. Oh my God. I remember, so I managed to get myself standing up, right? And it was one of those things where you think like you want to put your foot down and you shake it off and you walk it off, right? That's like how we grew up, right?
Hmm.
Don't cry it out, like you're fine.
Right.
And they're like, "Oh, are you good? Like, are you good?" And I go to put my foot down and I was like, "No, I'm not good." Like, and I was like shocked because certainly something happens like the shock of whatever
Right.
where it's like, "Oh, like it's okay. It just was initial like scary or pain or whatever." But then when you find out you're really not okay, and I couldn't
Yeah.
even do that. And you're like walking with a broken ankle like Tom Cruise. That's crazy. Wow.
Now I will say listen, the first time I did it, it wasn't like that. Like I thought I heard it and I did the same thing. It was like, all right, I'm
Oh,
gonna go lay down. And in the middle of the night, my
oh,
ankle was on fire. So I was like
yeah.
screaming bloody murder in the middle of the night. But like I don't really remember how I know how that all happened, but I don't
Right.
remember like the intensity of the middle two. I just know the difference between the first time and the
And the
last time
last
being an old
time,
pro.
oh my God. Well, like also, so like I also get like with that similar thing about like just get through that the pain, right? I was actually upstate at my mom's house and there was no like, do you need to go to the doctor? Like there was none of that.
Oh, wow.
So I didn't even have anything to wrap my foot with. So I just walked around going, ow, ow, ow. But I was still like, I couldn't really put weight on it, but I was a little bit.
Yeah.
I was like riding around on a quad, like I was whatever. And when I went back to work and I did wrap it up, the vice president at the time actually walked past me and she was like, your foot is like purple. Do you see, like, are you okay? And I was like, no, like, I hadn't got
Oh
to the
my
doctor
God.
still, but from under the bandage, like it was kind of like, you know how when it bruises, like the color creeps. She was like, that's probably, are you okay? And I was like, I don't know. Like, but
Wow.
it's still that same mindset of like, just get through it. Like, it's not that serious, whatever. But
That
this
would have
is,
petrified me because I have not
well,
experienced that level of bruising before. So I would have been like, oh my God, my foot is about to fall off.
yeah. Well, I did go to the doctor like the next day, but all this to say, kids, PSA, if you get hurt, sometimes you have to go to the effing doctor, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes you have to.
We are not Tom Cruise.
We are not Tom Cruise. We're not. And he
No,
needs those ankles for all that couch jumping that he does on
right?
Oprah and shit. Yeah, that's crazy.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Okay.
But I mean the trailer looked good. I honestly think I would probably see this. It seems like it's going to be the final one for him because it does say the final reckoning. So,
And that's like the
this is
final
his
reckoning. Like that's the
right.
next one. Yeah.
Right. So this is his final movie. I would love to go see it. I think it comes out, it looks like May 23rd, 2025.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing it. So yeah. And you said you saw this one too?
I did see that trailer. It was like in the middle
This is my
of.
first one.
Okay, that's interesting. No, I'm definitely interested to see like what if we saw all the same things and like
It's just in different
hmm,
orders.
maybe, yeah. So
Yeah.
that was a good one. I might see it. It's like I don't go, the movies are so expensive these days that
Yeah.
like I go if I really want to see something. So like I'm on the fence, but it's not for any reason other than like I kind of reserve it for like super funny films or horror.
Hmm.
So like that I'm like on the fence with that one. I'm on the fence.
Yeah. And I usually go for like horror stuff or like big budget,
Action.
not even just action, but also documentaries. Like I saw Oppenheimer.
Did you? I
So
didn't see
yeah.
that, but I heard it was good. I heard good things.
It is a long ass movie that didn't need to be that long. It was very, obviously very well shot. It was a good movie as far as that goes,
Yeah.
but it was long. And it was
I
like,
heard
oh,
that. Yeah. I
yeah.
didn't see Barbie in the theater either. I know it was like Barbenheimer.
Yeah, I didn't see Barbie at all.
No, I did just to watch it recently on like Max or wherever it was. I don't
I
know.
think it was on Max. And it's so funny because everybody was like, yeah, Barbieheimer. And I'm like, nah, I'm here for the atom bomb. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
I was
I'm here
like,
for the
I'm at
bomb.
home eating Taco Bell. Like you guys all have fun with with those movies.
Right. I'm good. I'm here for the
Yeah.
bomb.
Yeah. I gotcha.
So
I gotcha.
yeah.
Okay.
So I guess you want me to talk about the next one or
Yeah,
do you
let's
remember?
go.
Okay.
I
So
don't
my
I don't have anything to add going.
so my second one was The Accountant 2 with
I did
Ben
see that.
Affleck. Okay, so good. So far we've seen Scene 2.
So far, and he looks good in that movie.
He
I didn't recognize him
does.
at first. I was like, is
I
that
honestly
Ben?
I
Yeah.
thought it was a Batman movie at first, and then I was like, well, maybe he's not playing Batman because he lives in the trailer based off this preview. But he had a very flat affect, and
Yes.
but I like it. It's an interesting movie. I hadn't seen The Accountant one, the first
Me
one,
either.
so
Mm-mm.
I know nothing about it. But it looks like your typical like spy versus spy type movie.
Sure.
Um, but it seemed interesting. I don't know, and it has J.K. Simmons in it, which I love J.K. Simmons.
Okay.
Um, and it has a few other people, but nobody that I'm like, oh yeah, haha, I love them. Just J.K. Simmons. Uh, so I mean, I honestly think I might see this, probably not in theaters. I'm definitely not as like into it as I was with Mission Impossible because Mission
Sure.
Impossible I was like, oh, this is gonna be good. But like if this comes on like Max or something, I probably would watch it. But I'd want to watch The Accountant, the first one, to
Yeah,
see if there's something like I need to know.
I agree. I agree with you. Yeah, this one didn't really do anything for me, but it's like it looks like it's well made.
Yeah,
I know the first one was decent as far like I didn't watch it, but I heard about it. So that's another one where I'm like riding the fence. I could take it or leave it when it's on streaming.
yeah,
But I wouldn't go to the theater necessarily because like I said, that shit's expensive, dude. Unless you go on like a Tuesday or a Wednesday.
yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what the rules are anymore. I just changed movie theaters.
Tuesdays typically, but yeah, you
Okay.
never know.
Yeah. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. All right.
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I guess the next movie I saw a preview for was Shadow Force with Kerry Washington and Omar Sy.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see that one?
I did. I
So
did
look,
see
ooh, we're three
that
for
one.
three so far.
It's just not
This
in that
one,
order at all.
right.
So, yeah.
So this one seemed interesting. Just looking at a little blurb, it's like an upcoming American action thriller. And it seemed like Kerry Washington and Omar Sy, they were like basically spies in some type of program, and
Yeah.
they decided to get out because they fell in love and had a kid. And this is one of those like CIA type top secret ghost recon type groups where it's like once you're in, you can't get out. And so they're basically being hunted like Mr. and Mrs. Smith, it seems like. So I mean, it seemed interesting. I love Kerry Washington and things, and I think that she's always like so interesting to watch act because she acts the same, but it's different each time. It's
Yeah,
weird to
yeah.
explain. Um,
And also she looked amazing though. Like she looked like she's aging
yes.
in reverse.
Yeah,
Like,
like when they were showing her combat scenes, I was like, okay, girl, look at you
yeah.
fighting.
No, she was good.
But again, this is similar to The Accountant for me. I don't think I would see this in a movie theater. I think I would watch this on Max or something.
Yeah.
I'm not really an action thriller type person. It's rare that I do watch those type of movies because they do
Yeah.
kind of fall into my genre. But it seemed interesting. It seemed okay.
I'm
So
with you.
yeah.
Yeah, it looked interesting, but same one, same. I think this one drew my interest more than the other two, but I still wouldn't go to the theater necessarily.
Yeah.
Um, but it looks good. Everyone in it looks amazing. The trailer was like amazing because sometimes even you get like bad trailers where you're just
Right.
like, this looks stupid. Speaking of that, really quick sidebar, just take us away. I saw that Heretic is streaming.
Oh, okay.
So we got to
Okay.
watch Heretic because that's when I wanted to see it in the theater, but I missed it. I think that's another A24, but it looked good. I know A24
Along
doesn't
with
usually
Blumhouse.
doesn't usually do it for us. I'm more of a Blumhouse over A24 if we're like ranking them. Um, I
Oh,
know.
but you know what? But you know what though? It's so hard to do because here's the thing with Blumhouse. I don't like Blumhouse's movies when they're PG-13 9 times out of 10.
Sure.
And like 7 times out of 10, I don't like their movies that are rated R. Now, A24, you have to be in a specific mindset on a certain type of shrooms on a certain type of day to
Right.
be all into their art house horror mess. So it's just a different vibe with A24. So I don't know. But yeah.
You, yeah, I was just taking a look to see like to scroll through the Blumhouse. Uh,
Their repertoire, their group of stuff.
yeah, House on the Bayou. Um, oh, I have to ask, my friend mentioned one to me the other day. I wanted to ask, they made Firestarter though. They made Halloween,
Yeah.
Halloween Kills. Yeah, I'm more of a Blumhouse girl. Insidious they made over.
Hmm.
Oh my God, I
They
didn't realize how many effing Insidious movies there
yeah,
were. There's
it's
so
like
many.
six. They have they have a lot of good like B list horror movies.
They made Martyrs. That's one of my scariest movies. Ah.
I
Um,
mean, Blumhouse had some Blumhouse before. I don't know when it switched, but Blumhouse before was like, okay, this is a Blumhouse movie. We could get behind this. But there was a point where they just started making weird PG-13 movies that
yeah.
little teeny boppers would go in and scream at the movies, and then the movies had really weird, stupid twists at the end or in the middle or
Well,
something.
yeah, they made The Craft Legacy, which I just like
Oh,
I couldn't acknowledge, but
yeah.
they made a lot of stuff. Um, The Visit, The
Yep.
Purge, um, a lot of ones that we've talked about before, honestly,
Hmm.
that are in here. Um,
Yeah.
they did, yeah. So I'm definitely a Blumhouse over A24. I'm just gonna double down. I'm gonna stop looking at that. But I get what you're saying. It makes sense to me.
Yeah. It just depends on what kind of drugs you're on that day, whether you want to watch Blumhouse or A24. So, whether you're on cough
Right.
syrup or shrooms. So
I'm gonna stick with my cough syrup. Yeah, no, I got, I got you. Little
well,
Benadryl, little light Benadryl
yeah,
action. That's
yeah.
good. Okay,
So
good to know.
yeah, so I saw this one. The next one I saw was Sinners, and we talked about
Yes,
Sinners in one of our previous
we
After
did.
Darks iCard. I mainly say this for me, people. So just so you know,
It's just like a
so I
marker. I wish we
right,
had a clapper.
right,
Yeah,
right here.
the old
Um,
school.
right. But Sinners, as you know, it stars Michael B. Jordan as twins
Hmm.
in a supernatural KKK slash vampire movie. Which I'll be honest with you. when I first heard about this movie, I was not like, ugh, do I really want to see this? I didn't feel like I did because I had said in the previous episode that we talked about this that I'm not really into period pieces like this. It felt very heavy.
Right,
But after seeing the preview, and I've seen this preview twice, I watched it once by myself at home because I just was like, let me look at this whole trailer. And
right.
then because the trailer wasn't out when we talked about it previously,
It
or
they
we
didn't give
had
us
looked at
anything
it.
except for that
Right.
little synopsis. Like it wasn't even a synopsis,
It was
just
a
like a
little
couple
blurb or something.
blurbs about it. Yeah.
Yeah, but seeing the preview of it, it actually looks very interesting. And honestly, like even if you look at the movie poster, because there's a picture of like an evil looking Michael B. Jordan and a more calm, good Michael B. Jordan, and even colored differently. Like one is colored in red and one is colored in like blue or something. And to me, because this has vampires in it, and obviously I don't know what's happening in this movie, so I'm not spoiling anything. And if I happen to be right, I happen to be right. So that
Right.
just means I'm a genius. But I feel like one of the brothers goes rogue and one of the brothers is on the good side. And based on the trailer, I feel like that's probably what's happening. It looks good though. It's better than I thought it was going to be.
If I'm rewinding to what I said about it at the time, where I was like, okay, so I was like, it's twins, and I was like, it's KKK, so it's already
Hmm.
like that's very heavy, right?
Right,
Very, very troubling, and a lot going on, period,
right,
in the South, right, with Michael B. Jordan. That's a lot.
right,
And then I was like, vampire, and then you add vampire element. I was like, are the KKK the vampires? Are the vampires extra? And
right.
I judged it very harshly. And seeing this trailer, I was like, oh shit, this looks good as hell.
Yeah.
So I'm
And
interested. I think I need to go to the theater for that one. I think I will go to the theater for that.
I'm on the fence about that. But something that you said in a previous episode, because you said, I wonder if like the vampires are hurting the KKK, so because that would be great.
Which would be cool. Yeah, yeah.
And to be quite honest, based on this trailer, I feel like you might have been right
Mm.
because the vampires that they show in this trailer don't look like KKK members, okay? At all. In fact, I didn't see any KKK members clearly throughout this entire trailer.
I did notice that.
Yeah. So I don't know if that's still something that's actually in this movie or not.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
directed
good
by
point.
Ryan Coogler, so he could have did a game day switcheroo and took them out. I don't know.
Well,
But
one of the things I feel like could make or break the movie too is the way that they frame it. Because when we read that and they were saying it's about the KKK, it's like,
and vampires.
but
Right.
even that alone, I feel like, especially in like America 2025, like that's not necessarily content people are wanting to consume. Tensions are very high, like
Right.
whatever. So it's like if they frame it in a way, because it seemed like it was like a main thing, if they frame it in a way where it's like almost in the background or like a secondary thing, and it's like the vampires, and then something happens with that where it's like they're infiltrating and they're like taking it down or something, I feel like that could be very interesting if it's not like too heavy on that theme. Do you know what I mean? So it really
Yeah.
depends what they do with it. And like you said, if it's even in there at all, maybe it tested poorly for the reasons I mentioned, where they're like, I don't want to watch this shit,
Mm.
right?
Right.
And then they took it out and rewrote the whole thing. Like we don't know, but the trailer looked good.
It does.
So
It does.
I'm with it.
And I mean, Michael B. Jordan looks like he's doing a really good job as both of these twins. You see more of the good twin than the bad twin in this trailer.
Yeah.
Um, and so if it's even a bad twin. And also I'm seeing Omar Benson Miller is in this movie
Mm.
and he was in another movie. Oh my gosh, I have to click on his name to tell you what other movie he was in because I know I've seen him before.
Oh,
He
I
was a
was like,
kid in a lot of stuff.
I know his
Um
face, but I wasn't sure.
yeah, he was in 8 Mile, but that's not what I saw him in. I'm looking through his stuff just to see if I can see it. I don't see it offhand, but he was in some other stuff. 8 Mile, Ballers, Sinners, Napoli, New York, whatever that is. CSI Miami with the greatest detective of all time, Horatio Kane. Get Rich or Die Trying. Like he was in
Yeah.
something, but either way, True Lies. I like the kid. He was cool when he was in stuff that he was in. I've seen him in something, but I can't think of what it is. Um,
I
but yeah,
just see, so
anyway.
I looked him up because I wanted to make sure I knew his face.
Yeah.
And it came up with his Instagram. It says, all gas, no brakes. The night belongs to sinners, which is, I'm very behind that message. Yes. Yes, Night Belongs to Sinners. Experience in theaters and IMAX. Buy your tickets now. So I'm like, is it about to be out? Is it out?
It's coming out very soon. It's not out yet, but it's coming out soon.
Because
Um,
I was about ready to go on Fandango. You can
it comes
sponsor us
out
here. Sponsor us,
April
Fandango.
18th. So
Oh shit. Okay.
yeah.
Because I was like, if they send buy your tickets now, I'm about to go buy them. I was like, oh. But that's a little far in advance. I'd wait till
Yeah.
closer.
So I
But
mean, who knows? Maybe we'll both watch this one and maybe we'll be doing the same thing we're doing today, which you did we didn't talk to you. We didn't say what movie we saw yet.
we didn't say
So
yet. No,
yeah. Um, but yeah. So I mean, we'll see.
I'm interested. I'm
Yeah.
interested. And also, Michael B. Jordan is not, super hard on the eyes. So,
No, no.
there's that.
Now, the last one that I saw, and I know there is one movie we definitely did saw one preview we saw different for sure. And
Okay.
so my last preview was the movie Drop, which we also talked about in our other episode, but we had no information for it really.
I did see that.
And this one is okay, so you saw this and then you got an extra
I did.
because
I
I
did.
didn't get anything after this, but Drop is about
Okay.
a lady who goes on a blind date, and while she's on this blind date, her she's being watched by somebody who's threatening to hurt her son who's at home with a babysitter. And she's basically being told like basically you have to kill your date. She doesn't know why or anything like that. So it seems interesting. If you've seen movies like The Telephone Booth, and there's some
Yeah.
other movies where you can't put your phone down and you have to follow whatever instructions are on there. It seems to follow that same type of thing, where they threaten somebody. This seems like a cliche type movie. It's by Universal Pictures. Um, I mean, so far the Rotten Tomatoes has given this an 88% thus far with
Oh, wow.
pre-screenings because it
Hmm.
isn't quite out yet. Um, but I mean, eh,
I
I'm
feel
not,
like I feel like that about it too. I feel about it.
yeah,
Um,
I'm not interested in this.
I've seen the trailer a few times recently, like actually in the theater, and I have the same reaction where I'm just like, meh, I don't really care about it. It's like interesting, but I could wait for it. Like I'd probably watch it, I don't know, and like fall asleep or something.
I'd watch it on Tubi if it came on Tubi and I turned Tubi on, which I never do, so I probably will never see it. Um,
And that honestly just reminds me, you did not watch Longlegs still, right?
I have not yet.
I want to make a confession to you, spoiler free. I fell asleep during Longlegs. I fell asleep. Um,
It's
I
that damn Nicolas Cage.
So obviously we're gonna wait to talk about that until you see it too, because I need you to see it because I can't
It's
there's nothing else I can say. But
it is on priority for me. I will watch it very
it's like
soon.
it didn't bore me to death, like that's not why I fell asleep, but it was a little like slow and there was a lot going on and it was
Mm,
so weird, but it wasn't like scare the crap out of you crazy because movies like that I get real tense where like I can't relax. But this one I was just like my head
yeah,
just dropped and I woke up and I was like, I think I woke up at one point and he was like screaming. That was like, oh, okay, all right. So
Lord.
we'll wait to talk about that. But yes, interesting. But it just reminded me. So
Right. Wait, was Nicolas Cage in Long Legs? Because I just thought about Renfield.
yeah,
He was in Long Legs too, right? Yeah. Okay. That's what I thought. Okay.
yes, he was.
Lord, he was in a lot of weird stuff going forth.
Yes, he was. I like that all roads lead back to Nicolas Cage.
Right. How many times have we talked about him recently? My
I just
God.
it's not even like on purpose.
No, it's not.
It just keeps happening. Um,
He is a national treasure.
he is a national treasure.
Yeah.
He's an interesting guy for sure. So that's the last preview you saw.
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen anything else in the movies recently?
No.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you about the last one I saw that I've seen a few times and it actually looks scary and I'm interested. And I think I would see this too, but I think that I will be scared. So it's called Until Dawn.
Yes, I know that video game.
Okay. So I'm going to tell you the premise. So the premise is, and this is from Screen Gems by way of Wikipedia. 1 year after her sister Melanie mysteriously disappeared, Clover, stupid. Sorry if anyone named their child Clover, but stupid. And her friends head into the remote valley where she vanished in search of answers. They find themselves horrifically murdered only to wake up and find themselves back at the beginning. Trapped in an endless time loop, they're forced to relive the nightmare again. Only each time the killer is different, each more terrifying than the last, and the only way to escape is to survive until dawn. Now, the trailer, I'm excited for you to watch this trailer. The things that are like attacking them are scary. And it's like it almost looks like they're in like a dark house, kind
Mhm.
of. And then they'll see something at the end of the hall, or they'll turn around and some scary effed up thing is like right in their face. There's like clown things, there's like mask things, there's all kind of things. And like you said, this is based on an American survival horror game. It's a 2015 video game, Until Dawn. Um, and according to Wikipedia, it's set in the same universe as the video game, but features an original standalone story that expands upon the game series mythology, which I know nothing about. So this is one I was going into just off the trailer. The trailer, even so, my mom went to see a movie the other day. I think she saw like Novocaine,
Mhm.
which I don't care about. Sorry, everyone involved with Novocaine. Um, but she said she saw this trailer and she said it looked so scary. And then I saw it and I was like, yeah, it actually does look scary. Um,
I'm gonna watch it
so I'm
because
excited.
yeah, because I first of all, this video game is phenomenal for it to have come out in 2015. Not that 2015 is like ancient, but it's a game where you pick choices for the characters.
Oh, cool.
And it's so good. It is so good.
Is it
And
scary? Is the game itself scary?
it's scary, and I think
Okay.
they basically just did a remake of it for to optimize it for now. I think
Okay.
who was it? Panettiere, I think played one of the characters in the video game, and all of the people that are in it, like you know their faces because it's the voice acting is done by the real actor.
Okay.
I believe it might have been Hayden Panettiere and some
Okay.
other people too. But listen, video game was bananas. It's so good. And so I did hear that they had this movie, like this movie in the works. I have not seen the trailer, but when I saw it, I was like typing my little fingers off and I was like, oh my God, this is going to be so great. I'm looking forward to this so much. And like all of us video game nerds were like, oh my God, yes,
Yeah.
it's going to be great. So I'm glad to hear that you thought it was scary. I'm glad to hear that your mom thought it was scary because I'm
She scares. You know what's funny about my mom? I wonder if she'll ever watch this. Because I'm like, you know what sucks? I'm just kidding. No, but the thing that's funny about my mom is she doesn't like necessarily gravitate towards horror, but
yeah.
we've seen her. We once took her to the movies, my sister and I, to watch. I forget what movie. It wasn't one that made a big impression on me, but it was scary, right? And she's
Right.
sitting there like stony faced just observing this movie with no reaction every time scary stuff happens. And I was like, "Are you sure you're not a horror fan? Because you're taking this like a champ. Like
Right.
you're doing a great job." But I
Well,
don't
I'm
know. I
looking
just
at it
thought it was
on
funny.
mute right now. I have it on mute.
Oh,
I see the little clown people and like yeah, I'm purposely watching it on mute because I like to watch things on mute sometimes to get a better feel of things
yeah,
just because I'm paying attention to what's happening. Um yeah, it's giving the video game vibe even though I will say like some of the creatures in the video game are similar to this.
yeah.
In fact very similar. I don't remember seeing the clown face people, but
I don't like guys. I don't know if you know this about me by now, but I don't like clowns.
what?
So
Really?
everyone's like, "We know, shut up." But no, I don't like them. But I want to see this movie because I like to torture myself sometimes, not unlike Bill Murray in Little Shop of Horrors. Not on the same level, not on the same level.
High
Um,
card.
please watch Little Shop of Horrors here.
Yes.
Um, no, but ooh, what was that face?
It looked like somebody was like writhing on the floor.
Oh yeah,
So
that part's cool. It's like all
yeah.
creepy on the floor. Oh, there actually was another trailer I saw that I don't care about. That I'll tell you about after this.
Go ahead.
Um,
You can say the one thing that's interesting about this because it looked like stuff is going backwards in
yeah.
time. And
So
so because
that's
they're
when it
replaying stuff.
rewinds. That's when it
Right.
rewinds. So they have to like go through it. And they are essentially like we were telling my sister about this the other day, and my mom explained part of it. And she's like something like a time machine. And I was like, no, I was like, they have to survive until dawn. And if they don't, um, they get murdered horrifically, but then it just rewinds and they have to do it all again. So looks very spooky.
Yeah.
So there's another movie coming out that looks like a I feel like it's going to be like an A24 because it looks like a little artsy. Let me look and see. Oh no, it's not. Oh, it's distributed by Neon.
Mm,
Uh,
that's different.
it is different. So but it's starring people that I like. It's Dave Franco and
Okay.
Allison Brie. And Allison Brie's been a bunch of stuff, but you guys, she was so good in Glow, the show about women's wrestling that never got to end properly with Mark Maron, who I love so much, and I wish would be my boyfriend, even though he's like 3 times my age. It's fine. Um, the movie's called Together. It's a
Okay.
2025 body horror film.
Oh,
Um,
that's going to be interesting.
and basically the premise, and we don't get a lot of information. A couple moves to the countryside and triggers a supernatural incident that drastically alters their relationship, existence, and physical form. It does look artsy the way it's shot. Um, it is giving me A24. Like what I saw the trailer, that was like, I don't know. But maybe, you never know, we'll see. And it looks like there's only 3 people in the cast as listed on Wikipedia, so I don't know what
That
that's
sounds
about.
interesting. I definitely would probably wait.
Yeah, I would wait for that. The other two, Sinners and oh God, it's already gone. Until Dawn. I think I would like to see in the theater, but everything else, and those are both coming out in April. So I
Right.
think I would wait on the others.
I
Yeah.
forgot I did see one other trailer and
Oh,
I didn't purposely leave it out, but I think my brain was like, this is dumb. It was just honestly, it was the Megan 2.0
oh, I
trailer.
saw that too. Why did I see so many trailers? Holy shit. That's a
Right.
lot of trailers.
But to me, like the Megan trailer is the same teaser trailer that I've seen. It's just her dancing down the hallway.
Yeah.
It's nothing else. And I feel like, to be quite honest, we've already seen the first Megan. If you've seen the first Megan, it is what it is, AI doll killing people.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like, this trailer they need to do more because this movie is coming out rather soon. And to
Right.
keep giving us the same dancing trailer with her saying you miss
Over and
me
over.
is boring me. I don't care. I saw the first one, I thought it was fun. It wasn't anything special. But like if you're gonna do this second one, now is the time to give me a bigger trailer to let me know what the hell is going on because
Right.
seeing that stupid ass trailer again makes me be like, I'm not interested. It was cute when I first saw it. I was like, oh shoot, Megan doing the dance. I don't care anymore, y'all.
Right. We're
Give me
over the
something
dancing.
else. Right. And I think that's Blumhouse too. So give me something else.
That is Blumhouse. I just saw it
Yeah.
on their website when I was scrolling through. Yeah, I saw so many trailers. I was there really early though, so I saw like every single shit.
Same.
Um, okay.
Did you not see one other one though?
I don't know if I did.
Did
I didn't,
you told me earlier about a different one that you saw?
did I?
Yes.
I'm getting old, you guys. I don't know. Can you give me a hint? I'm like,
I'm just gonna say, didn't you not tell me you saw a Jurassic Park trailer?
oh, shh.
Because that was the main thing. Like when she started off saying, like, I saw Jurassic Park. Nah,
I-
I didn't see Jurassic Park.
that was like 40 minutes ago. I said that to you too. That's really bad. Okay. All right. So, oh my God. Wow. That's really something. So let me actually give you look so I can tell you the exact title of this movie that did see. Oh,
The
it's
trailer
perfect.
for,
It's
yeah.
perfect. It's perfect. So it is Jurassic World Rebirth. It is coming out in 2025. It's action sci-fi. Let me tell you guys why I haven't been overly jazzed like our friend here who loves all things Jurassic, everything. I love the original
Almost. Okay.
almost. I wore out the videotape. We broke it in my grandma's VCR, right where all the tape came out and was everywhere and everything got ruined. After that, I saw like one of the Chris Pratt ones is fine, but none of them really like appealed to me. This one from the trailer, let me just tell you, Zora Bennett leads a team of skilled operatives to the most dangerous place on Earth, an island research facility for the original Jurassic Park. Their mission is to secure genetic material from dinosaurs whose DNA can provide life-saving benefits to mankind. As the top secret expedition becomes more and more risky, they soon make a sinister, shocking discovery that's been hidden from the world for decades. But let me reiterate the part of this that's doing fan service. The original Jurassic Park facility. It's all old, it's broken down. They're walking through the things and the places that introduced us to Jurassic Park so many years ago. Um, I love that nostalgia. Oh, and Jonathan Bailey's in it, and he is so
Scarlett
handsome.
Johansson is
And Scarlett
playing
Johansson's in
Zora.
it. Yes.
Yes.
Um, it looks really good. I can't believe I forgot about it. It was one of the ones that I was like, oh, this looks good.
Yes,
So,
it's I mean, listen, I've seen the trailer. I didn't see it when I went to go see this movie, but I have seen this trailer a little while back and I was excited because I said, "Oh, wow, Scarlett Johansson's in this one." So I'm like glad to finally see her getting in on the Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, whatever franchise. But it's going, like you said, it's going back to the original place, Isla Nublar. I love the book. I mean, I'll put it to you like this. I'm a Jurassic Park fan from the book and the original Jurassic Park.
yeah.
Jurassic Park 2, Jurassic Park 3, I was like, but both of those, the Jurassic Worlds, I watched them just because they had dinosaurs in them. I could care less about the storylines, but I'm willing to give this one a chance in
Yeah.
IMAX with all the stuff. If I could get a
Oh, yeah.
4D movie theater, I would do that too. Because I this one looks good. I
It
will
looks
give
good.
you that. And when you take me back to the OG place, not that
Yeah.
Jurassic World place, because I don't care. Even
No.
though those little balls would be cute to be in. Okay, I'm not even gonna lie. I
Like a
would definitely.
hamster? I don't
Yeah,
know.
those little hamster balls where you could go around the actual place and see the dinosaurs in their actual habitat. Like, yeah, I would do that because I'm crazy. I would also say hello to aliens if they came here. So
I wouldn't even do that at like our other, like a safari, like with lions and shit, because I feel like they'd just be smacking the ball around and I
I,
would die.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah. But
if
see,
if they sent me with like the brontosauri, I don't know if that's the
well.
plural of them, then like, okay, if you give me like the peaceful herbivores,
Well, I think that type of tour would only put you on the herbivore.
yeah.
I wouldn't put you on an omnivore tour. It wouldn't put you on just a carnivore tour
No,
because
but
yeah,
like,
they would tear you up.
what if you can't contain the pterodactyls or the pterodons? Then they just are swooping in, pecking your ball open. Like it's not, it
I
sounds like a
mean,
recipe for a disaster, if we're being
it
honest.
possibly could be. And it's funny because I do the dinosaurs before I do the safari with the lions.
Well,
Because
my toxic trait is that while you're doing that with the dinosaurs, I'm trying to pet the lions.
oh, see, you know,
So, no, but I'm saying I understand because
we do.
we
We
have
do.
different stuff. But no,
Yeah.
I always like the big, like the Brontosaurus is like so cute and they're just eating leaves and stuff. They're cute. I like them. Okay.
Yes, and then you can give me a velociraptor any day. They're tiny and terrifying with feathers. I will take
I don't
them.
like the feathered ones.
Well, that's historically
I
accurate.
know. So like my nephew is really into dinosaurs, so we've taken him to like I don't know if you've seen they sometimes they do those traveling like pop-up events, you know what I'm talking about?
I've
Where
been.
they oh you're like of course I've been there. So like they have like the full size ones and whatever. And he's only 3, but we were taking him when he was like 2. He's not afraid, like which is cool. But they had the feathery guy,
Yeah.
and I just hate how he looks like that. And I know it's like he looks like he's wearing those I don't know what the name of the dance is, but like those Latin dance pants that
Oh,
are
I know what
like
you're talking
the
about. Yeah.
layered like
I feel like
fringe.
they're cha-cha pants or something, but
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I was saying. It's something like that where I'm just like, you look ridiculous in the in this outfit. But
Yeah.
I know they're so scary and terrifying, and I know that I don't think they were the only ones that had feathers. I think there were more of them
Oh yeah, yeah. There are
because
plenty
they had
more.
some like bird-like gene in them.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Welcome to Dinosaur Chat with the
Right.
horror ghouls. Yeah.
Right.
Um,
But yeah, no, they certainly did. And I mean, there's
yeah,
still some species that probably weren't are not accurate.
I'm
Just
sure.
just because. But I mean, yeah, I used to want to be a paleontologist.
Oh my God.
There's so many ologists I wanted to be. I wanted to be a paleontologist.
A
I wanted to be an Egypt.
proctologist.
I wanted I wanted to be an Egyptologist for a while. And then I want to be a meteorologist. So,
Oh, there's a lot of ology. Yeah, you're right.
right,
You're
right.
right. I
Okay.
remember those scholastic book fairs in school? Oh
Yeah.
my God, the best thing ever. My mom expressly told me that I was not allowed to buy the animal grossology book,
Aw,
but you know that I bought that book
of course.
immediately. I made a beeline as soon as I went because they give you the little paper first
Yeah.
that you could like check stuff off, and I went in there and I was like, "Where's the animal grossology?" So I know about I know about the ologies. I get
We
it.
didn't have that because I was in the Catholic school. So we
Oh,
got Berenstain bears. But back then it was
Jesusology.
Berenstein Bears.
It what? Thank you for saying that. It really bothers me that they're trying to pretend like it wasn't the Berenstein Bears
It
because it
certainly
was.
was. Yes.
I know what I saw. I know what I saw. You cannot tell me. You can't tell me. And not for nothing, I didn't really care about that book series that much that I didn't have any in my house. So I can't prove it to
Oh
you.
wow. I did have a few in my house, but I
I
don't know
saw
where
them at
they are. I've
school
lost
all the
them.
time. Why, if you ever find them, hopefully we can present them to the world
Right.
because it really irks me. Because, like, I know some of the other ones, like, there was that Sinbad Genie movie that never happened,
Yeah.
which, like, that one I understand, but I did think it happened. It was Berenstein Bears. Like, no one can tell me any different. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't
You can't
Bernstein.
tell me different. No.
No.
What kind of name is Berenstain? That's not, just sounds like dirty,
It's
like a
weird.
stain. A
Yeah.
stain on a bear. That's what it sounds like. Anyway,
But
so
yes.
Jurassic World
Yes. Gonna go
looks
see it.
good.
Definitely
I know
see it.
you're gonna go see it. I know you're gonna see that. When is this one coming out? July 2nd. So you got a little bit of a wait ahead of you.
I'll
But
be fine.
they've already started hyping it and it's about to be April. So
Yes. So,
whoa.
all right. So I guess we should get to the movie of the
Let's get
hour.
to it. So are you ready? You ready to do this?
Ready.
We saw One Day Apart, The Woman in the Yard, which is directed by a person, whose name,
Jamie Collett Sarah, I
yes,
believe. I believe that's
yes,
how you pronounce it. Jaume.
Jamie, yes. And it was produced by Jason Blum, so this is a Blum house.
Mm-hmm.
Do you like the way I saw though? I'm like, it was directed by a person.
I know.
Uh, that's how it's funny. Like some people really have a gift of like bullshit where they can stall and spin you bullshit, and I could do the segue, but I just make it weird. Like I can't, I don't know what to say. So anyway, The Woman in the Yard, we're going to give you the synopsis and then we're going to talk about it. Again, spoiler free. We're not going to spoil the movies for you ever, ever. It's never going to happen.
No.
Um,
They have to
so
be at least a year old.
at least.
Yeah.
So this is on the internet and it's basically in the trailer. So just watch the trailer. So Ramona becomes crippled by grief after her husband dies in a car accident, leaving her to care for her two children alone in her rural farmhouse. Her sadness soon turns to fear when a spectral woman in black appears on her front lawn, warning her, "Today is the day." As the mysterious figure creeps closer and closer to the house, Ramona realizes she must protect her children from the evil woman who simply won't leave them alone. Dun dun dun. So
Yes.
we were talking about this the other day from the trailers because I think we both watched the same trailer first. We both watched the second trailer.
Right.
Um, Basically, there is a woman in the yard. She's wearing all black. She's wearing a veil, so you cannot see her face. But she's also sitting in a chair that she appears to have brought herself. It's interesting.
Yep.
Like, where'd she drag a chair from? Like, okay. Um, it'd be funny to see her just dragging it up the long
Right.
dirt driveway. But she's just sitting there very like calmly and very like upright. She has this very almost like regal posture. I just bit my tongue really hard.
Oh no.
Uh, it's fine. Everything's fine. But one of the things that got me about this trailer is that, and they did this well in the trailer, but it didn't really happen like this in the movie as much. The people would look out the window, the kids would look out the window, and she was like constantly like closer to the house. But they made it seem like it happened rapidly in the trailer, which you only have a few minutes, so I get it.
Right.
That really creeped me out so much. And there were times also in the trailer, I don't know if you noticed this part. There was a time that she was like standing next to the chair. And I think they
I
cut
didn't pay
that,
attention to that.
yeah, I think they cut that out of the movie because it was like someone looked through the window and she was standing. Um, Very spooky. They did a great job in the trailer that compelled me to want to see it. And then it just worked out that we were both able to go.
Right. And it's funny because when we talk about the trailers, we both watched trailer two, and I think
Right.
we watched that one first. And she thought trailer two was super scary, and
Yeah.
I was like, eh. And then I saw trailer one, and I was like, oh my God, trailer one was worse. And then she
Yeah,
was
yeah.
like, about trailer one.
Yeah.
So going into it, we knew that we would have different ideas on what was like really going to be scary, probably.
Yeah. Well, then I asked you because you saw it first too.
Yeah.
Because like I think I've mentioned to you guys my tactic when I see scary movies because I am a movie goer by myself for the most part. Um, I usually have like a sweatshirt or like I use my hair where I'll just kind of like be like so I can cover my eyes if I need to. But let me tell you something else about my movie going experience. I love to eat so much popcorn. So if I'm holding my popcorn and it's really scary, I don't want to like fling it and then I'm like the asshole in the movies who's like ruining everything for everyone. So I asked you, I was
Yes.
like, how scary is it? Like prepared do I need to be? Um, and you were like, I think you're gonna be just fine. I think you're gonna get I think you're gonna get through it.
Yeah.
Um, but there were some jump scares. I don't think there were a lot of jump scares.
No, I know this movie has creep factor. It's
Yes.
there's parts that are creepy. I don't think that this is
Yeah.
necessarily a movie where you're going to jump and lose your popcorn, but it's definitely one of those movies if you're the type of person that psychologically lets a movie get into your head, when you get home late at night, you're going to think that you may see a woman in your yard. You
Bleh.
know what I'm saying? Like that's the
Yeah.
type of movie this is. It's not the type of movie that's going to scare you in the theater, but psychologically it might make you be a little creeped out later on.
I did jump. There was one time definitely jumps, but there was another time where something was happening involving the garage,
Hmm.
and that's all I'm gonna say. But I literally was watching it like with one eye open because you know too, and this
Yeah,
happens in every horror movie where they like the sounds they're using or the music they're using right at that moment
it
are like
lets you know it's
are
cues.
building,
Yeah.
right? So I'm just like, what's gonna happen? Um, it was definitely spooky, but also I think this movie is very like intelligent. Like I texted you when I got out. I was like, I think this movie's too smart for me. Like I got it, but there were things that I couldn't necessarily put together based on what I had saw. So it's definitely kind of like a think piece to a point.
Yeah.
Um, yeah.
It's very hard for me to talk about this movie.
I know without the spoilers. I know, I
It
know.
not only that, but just to be quite honest, I was a little angry at this movie and a little disappointed with this movie because the aspect that Megan's referring to where it's too smart, it's honestly too smart for its own good. This is
Yeah.
the type of movie where someone had really ambitious dreams when they were writing this, and I'm being honest, is like they're typing this movie out, they're getting the screenplay together, they're sitting in the writer's room, and nobody in the room said this shit doesn't make sense
Right.
outside of your brain. This shit doesn't make sense on paper. This
Right.
needs to be rewritten to make more sense. And so without me spoiling anything, you can see how I feel about this because there are
Yeah.
aspects of this movie that could have been a really, really, really fantastic movie, but there are aspects that don't make sense, which
Yeah.
makes it feel like it's being more intelligent. It's like a kid in the class who's talking a lot, but there's nothing smart coming out, but they have the gift to gab. And it sounds good. They're like a snake salesman, a snake oil salesman.
Oh,
They're selling you something and it sounds good, but it makes no sense. They're not making any sense at the end of the day. And that's what this movie is. It's a movie
yeah.
that looks good, it sounds good. Let me tell you something. I had to look up the pronunciation of the lady in the yard, the actress. She's a Nigerian actress. Her name is Akwi Akpokwasili.
Oh.
And I have to say it like that because that's how it's pronounced, and I can't say it faster than that. I'm sorry.
Wait, I'm just looking.
Yeah.
I just looked her up. Oh, she reminds me of a model from
Hmm.
like the 80s, and I cannot put my finger on her, but she
Like Grace
has
Jones.
kind of like kind of like Grace Jones. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but she was incredible. Like I loved her.
She,
But anyway, yes.
right.
Not
So
take away from your point.
no, but her and honestly, the main lady, Ramona, is played by Danielle Deadweiler. They've had fucking phenomenal performances. Everybody in this movie did their job. Okay. It was a phenomenal acting.
Yeah.
And the Nigerian actress that, like I said, her name, let me go back so I can repronounce it. Akwi Akpokwasili. And I'm sorry I'm saying it like that, I really am. But she was great in this movie. And I feel like her and Danielle, I feel like portion this movie was not strong enough for them and the performances that they were giving
Yeah.
because of the weird the weird idea that the person writing this movie had that no one stood up and said, "Hey, this don't make any sense. Please rewrite this to make it make sense so that the phenomenal actresses that you have in this fucking movie can do the best job they possibly can and it can make sense for the person viewing it."
Yeah. So, first of all, I am on her Akwi. I'm just gonna say I'm not gonna try her last name because you have the pronunciation. I do not. I don't want to butcher it. She's from the Bronx, so shout out to a New York girl. Love that for you. She's also a choreographer, writer. And it says here that she was a key figure in the New York experimental dance scene. Love that for you, my
Nice.
friend. So here's what I'm going to say about that. The story was close to making sense with adjustments, right? So it's like the way it stands, it doesn't it doesn't line up. Do you know what I mean? But like we were discussing it and we were like if they had done XYZ, it would have made sense, right? So
Right.
it's not that far away that it's just like there's no way in hell to tie it together. There is, but it's just like everyone they had I feel like too many yes people on this film who were like, yeah, yeah, that's great. Do that, do
Right.
that, do that. And it's
Right.
like, you know,
And there's like a glaring plot hole
yeah.
in this movie that there's no way you can explain it away. It's just like there's no way you can do it. There's no way you can do it. And any way you try to explain this away, it does not make sense at all.
No. It doesn't. It's like we were discussing about like, well, maybe it was this or like maybe it was that. And it's like, well, no, it couldn't be this because this happened or well, maybe if they had done this, it would have made sense, but they didn't do that, so it can't make sense. So we did go back and forth about it, and we were pretty much on the same page about it. With that being said, I liked it. I liked it as much as I could like something that doesn't make sense.
Right.
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 Um, I thought the acting was great. I thought everyone in the cast was great. Um, I agree with you saying like the story wasn't strong enough for the people that they have. Also, I'm learning that Akwi, and I'm sorry for being so familiar with your first name, she was in Agatha all along.
Was she? I didn't see it
And
yet, so I still gotta
no,
see
I
it.
think you still have access to my account. Don't tell anyone on us that we're sharing accounts. Um, but that's a great show. I watched it on Halloween. I think I binged almost like the whole series
Oh
on
wow, okay.
Agatha all along. Top notch, by the way, loved it. But I'm like, where did she fit into Agatha all along? Because I watched it so fast that like maybe I need to go back and rewatch it. Um, but it was fantastic. But yeah, I mean, it should have just been different.
Yeah,
Um, but I liked it. Like I said, I can't, but also I don't like that didn't make sense. So it's like, you
yeah.
know, it
And I
it could have
mean,
been better. It could have been
yeah.
better.
And I mean, I will say the one thing about it, there aren't a lot of movies that have black people in horror. That's a big thing. And this movie is all black actors and actresses.
But I
And
love that it was the entire cast.
right,
You know what I mean?
right. It's the entire cast.
Yeah.
And unfortunately I didn't look up the director enough to know if the director was black too. I have no idea. Um,
Let's find out.
right.
The
I
one
mean,
in
the
the
first,
yard.
no, it's not. He's not. He's Spanish. The director is Spanish.
Okay.
Which is fine. Still POC. Okay. So, but I will say like it's kind of rare that you get a serious all black ensemble for
Yeah.
horror where there isn't like, that trope where, black person dies first a lot of times that people say, or black people are like, I ain't doing that, and they like run off somewhere. This was one of those horror movies where it's like, oh my God, this is such a great cast. And you know, the themes of this story, without going into spoiler territory, it's about grief, it's about loss, it's about death. Okay. And they're very strong themes. And I would like to, because the movie did not do this, I would like to warn anybody who has any type of sensitivity to those type of themes to really rethink maybe watching this movie in the
Yeah,
theater. Maybe you want to take some time to look at other reviews, maybe, or even watch it at home if you're really interested in it. I'm not saying not to support it, but if you are somebody who might be triggered by those themes, you may want to think about it, because this movie needed needed a trigger warning for those type of people, and
I
it didn't
agree.
have that. I'm not one of those people, that's not sensitive topic for me, so it wouldn't bother me. But as I'm watching the movie unfold more and more, I'm like, oh wow, they probably should have let people know the themes of
Yeah.
this movie prior to people seeing it. Um,
I thought it was weird. So like I'm not like if you've watched our prior conversations about like grief and loss and such, it's like I'm not, but like it also it can depend like on the day, right?
right,
So I feel like it's weird to get to frame things in the way that they framed them in this movie particularly and not give any kind of warning because it didn't bother me, but what it did though is being aware of like people's mental health and mental space, it made me concerned for other people watching it. Like
exactly.
it really, that I was watching it and I was like, oh my God, I actually remember at one point that there wasn't a lot of people. I went to a matinee, but I like looked that I was like, is everyone okay? Like I was concerned because I was like, there should definitely be some kind of trigger warning and maybe that there wasn't because they wanted it to be like a surprise on purpose because that's like the movie. Do you see
Right.
what I'm saying? So it's like, well, we don't want to spoil the movie, so we're just going to make it a surprise. But I was like, was that well thought out?
But no, but it's still like, honestly, from the trailer you don't know what's going on.
No.
I can honestly say this trailer is not giving anything away, and neither are we. You know that the theme, because clearly they tell you that this woman has lost her husband. She's dealing with death, she's dealing with grief. And then some weird woman shows up on her lawn, right? So that part in and of itself, the the role that Danielle, who plays Ramona, the role that she had was someone who was in a deep state of grief. Okay. And so, with that being said, alone, knowing that alone, there still probably should have been some type of accountability just for
Right.
how deeply in grief she was. And so, I think that they could have at least, threw up something. Now, I will say they were responsible at the end of this movie,
Yeah.
but by that time you've already seen the movie.
Right.
So, it
Yeah.
just, there were just certain things that they definitely should have thought about prior
Agree.
to, especially since this trailer does not give you that the inclination that it's going to be so far
No.
into like that loss and grief and death and whatnot. It, like I said, it's the central theme of this movie, much more than horror to a certain extent. Um,
I
you
think it does
know,
overpower it.
yeah,
Especially like as you get to the end and you kind of get to like the heart of the matter, it does kind of become more apparent, you know? So it's kind of just like, I think that
yeah,
it would have been responsible to give more of like a warning for that. But like, I think, I wonder if that was discussed, but it's like, I do feel like that was a deliberate choice. And like I said, I don't necessarily agree, um, to not do that. And like, I hate that whole like, people are so sensitive these days. Like,
right,
I think that's silly in respect to this because it's like, I've had those conversations with people like from the past, like ex-boyfriends or whatever, who are like a bit older than me, who definitely grew up in the generation of like men can't have feelings or cry or be depressed or whatever. And it's like they've said things like that to me, and I'm like, isn't it the opposite though? Isn't it that when people show you kindness, because that's what they would reject, when people show you kindness when you're upset, doesn't that feel nicer than you having to be like, no, F that and stuff it down. I'm like a man, huh, like, you know.
right.
So I'm like, no, I think it's okay for people to be sensitive and feel what they feel and not have to suppress it. Um, So, and like it's funny coming from me because I'm a person that like I don't love emotions. So like I like
Right.
to like not, I'm like, no, that's too deep. I don't want it. But
Yeah.
I think there was a responsibility here that like wasn't fulfilled. And
Yeah.
but again, with that being said, it's not, I don't want to like almost oversell it to the
Right.
point that it's like it ruined everything. Like, it's just like it's something to be mindful of if you're going to see it and you don't like necessarily know.
Right.
Um,
And let me just add too,
yeah.
I am partially of the group of people are too sensitive and like everything doesn't need to be like
Well,
made easy peasy for people. Like we don't have to be so sensitive, but even for me, being knowledgeable of the day and age that we're in and
right.
how people are now, I am respectful of those wishes. While I don't need that type of trigger warning and I don't need that type of,
Right.
sensitivity, like, hey, be careful. I don't need that. But I am definitely someone who's feeling like other people do need it. And so
Yeah.
while, like I said, while I'm like not into that, you still let's be responsible. Let's at least think
Yeah.
about the other people out here because everyone isn't like me. You know what I'm
No, but
saying?
also, and that's not to say, and I just want to like add this as a caveat, like when I say that, there is a line. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like people are more or less extreme, like you get a crying room at your job. Like that's a
Yeah.
little extreme, right?
Mhm.
Or it's like you can't feel any feelings. It's like I feel like you can, and it shouldn't be like someone gets devastated because like how they were doing that thing at school where like everyone gets like a trophy for participation because people get upset. Like
Yeah,
I don't
participation boards
I
suck.
don't believe in that. I believe in learning something from that and like the world is a competitive place and like whatever without getting too off track. But it's like there is a line in the middle that's like healthy. So it's like it bums me out that people have been taught like older generations that like you can't have emotions and like you have to eat shit and you can't stand up for yourself because you're making waves and just stop crying or I'll give you something to cry about. Like I don't believe in that. But at the same
Right.
time, it's like you could be strong and advocate for yourself. So I'm like right on that middle place.
Yeah.
Um,
And I
because
mean,
I didn't want to be
oh
like
yeah.
I believe in just throwing yourself on the ground and
No,
crying like Scarlett O'Hara.
no,
Uh,
I understand that, but I did, full disclosure, I grew up in a household where you did not cry, you did not show emotions. That was not something that you showed. I'm
yeah,
a very sensitive person, but I grew up knowing you don't show people your weakness. You do not
right.
cry in public. You save the tears for your pillow. As my grandfather used to always say, the more you cry, the less you pee. Don't know why he used to say that, but that's what he used to say.
I don't
And
think
so
that science is out.
no. But I mean, between that and save the tears for your pillow and stuff like
Oh,
that, like, I wasn't even allowed to cry at funerals. So that just tells you the type of place
I'm
I'm
not
coming
laughing because
from.
that's funny. I'm
No, but
laughing because that's absurd.
yeah. But I mean, but that's the life that I kind of grew up with. And so
Yeah,
I was kind of just trained at a very young age not to be like that. And not saying that like let me be real, my childhood was not horrible, but the
right,
emotion part was
right.
the part that was suppressed. So I do come from, like I said, the part where I'm like, people are so sensitive these days, but I understand that everyone did not grow like me in
Yeah.
a household where we did not share our feelings and emotions.
Sure. Well,
So
a lot of that, like, we are, psychologically, they always say, like, whatever kind of like a baggage we have is like, is it nature, like you're biologically, like, you got some shit wrong with your brain, or is it like
nurture.
nurture, so the environment you are a product of? Um, and I grew up kind of similarly in a place that I was always told I was too sensitive and I was like too dramatic, making it feel like those were bad things or negative things. So it's still kind of like a means of suppressing or
Right.
people trying to suppress you from having emotion. So I can understand that. And I think that's one of the reasons that you and I both feel strongly kind of like of advocating for people to advocate for themselves, right?
Yeah.
So do with that what you will, people, listeners,
Yes.
watchers. It is relevant to this movie, though. It is relevant. You'll see if you watch it. We're not going to spoil.
Yes.
Um, but no,
Yeah.
I think good points. Um,
Yeah, and I'll add, I did
yeah,
read an article, I believe it was Vulture, and it is about this movie. If you are not worried about spoilers and you are interested in why I feel so strongly about this and why this may have because the article really did explain how I was feeling quite well. And I didn't understand why I was feeling the way I was feeling until I read this article. So if
Yeah.
you just look it up, and I think, like I said, it's by Vulture. I'm not going to look up the actual article title because you can do that if you're interested. Um, you'll be able to see for yourself. But like I said, spoiler alert for that article because it does go into the actual movie and what it's about and why it falls apart or why it doesn't fall apart, whatever. Um, but yeah, you know, that's just that.
No, that's a good thing. Do you have anything else you want to add about this movie?
No, are we doing bloody axes for this? Because
I
I'd
think we
love
can.
to.
No, I think we can.
Yeah.
We could do
Yeah, yeah,
we could
yeah.
throw out some axes.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say. I think I was very passionate about this one.
That's good. We like passion, but don't be too dramatic or sensitive about it, because then
Right?
that's too, we have to shut that right down.
Right. So yeah, I think that's fine. We can do bloody axes. How many bloody axes would you give?
Uh, um, this one's hard because, like I said, I liked it, but only to the point that I could like something that doesn't make any sense. Uh,
Right.
um, I'm gonna give it a 6.5. I feel like that's even a little generous given the fact that doesn't make sense. But it's like you're saying, kind of like Black people in horror, people of color in general in horror, it's not really a thing, but this is an entirely person of color ensemble. I love that for horror. I love those kind of like new kind of angles and takes, and it's not all Jordan Peele because we know that he's kind of cornered the market on that, and we're
Right.
expanding, and that's a good thing. I thought the acting was incredible. I loved everyone in their part. Just extra points for the bone structure on, I can't say her name. I forgot how to say it already. I'm so
Aqui.
sorry. She's incredible looking. Um, like androgynous, but like really cool, but like feminine. There's a lot happening. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Um, amazing. The story needed help. It needed help, man. It was spooky. It scared me at points. And then it confused the crap out of me where I think I tilted my head like all the way to the side where I was like, what? So that's the reason like I can't rate it any higher. I think my score was, like I said, even a little generous. So that's all I have to say. What about you?
I almost was going to give this a 4. I am going to give it a 5, one for each actor in this
Oh,
movie.
that's good.
Because I feel like they deserve accolades for what they did. I
Yeah.
also think that this movie was extremely well shot. It's a beautiful movie. The grounds are beautiful. It's like on a giant, I'm going to say this, but I don't mean it this way. It's like a plantation style house. Like, because when I say that, I just mean it has a lot of area around it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
it's like a freestanding house by itself with nothing but farmland around. Because it is in fact on a farm, technically, right?
Yeah.
So, but I think like, listen, the work of the actors, the camera shots, the scares that they have in it, the creepy factor, um, I think that all of that makes this a great movie, but they lose an additional 5 points for the fact that this movie was too intelligent for itself. They
Yeah.
didn't have anybody, there was no checks and balance in place where anyone could have said, hey, you might want to rethink part of this because it just doesn't work. And I
Right.
think that that's where they fell short. Had this movie been executed in a different way, this could have been a 9, a solid 9 for me. Just because I think that there was that glaring part. And not, no, I won't even say 9, maybe an 8. I'll give it an 8 because if they had fixed the glaring issue, um, that made no sense, then yeah, I could say this was a good movie. It was solid. And you know me,
Yeah.
anything above a 5 is decent, and anything above a 5 is great. But like, you know, I can't even, like I said, I'm giving them 5 based on the actors alone because that one glaring issue is
Mm,
just ridiculous for me. Um, so yeah, I can't even I can't even say that. I feel bad because I went into this with no expectations.
right.
And as I was watching it, I was like, wow, this is really well done. The acting was great. And I was getting hype as I was sitting there. Like,
Yeah.
when we get to like midway through and it's like, ooh, the tension is rising. This is getting good. Today's the day and shit. So I'm like, all right. Um, but then it was just like it was like
It went
I
the
had a
other
hot
way.
yeah, it was like I had a hot air balloon and you just popped it mid-flight and now I'm floating back down to the ground like I didn't even get a chance to see the whole rest of the stuff I want to see.
Like that show with the balloons with the dating. Have you seen that?
Yes, yes.
It's like when you just pop your balloon when you're out, like if the other
It's like
person says something,
yeah,
um,
and that's
you know,
basically what
like
happened. I was midway through this movie and I was like, you know what?
I'm
Pop.
popping my balloon. I'm popping the balloon. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I definitely get that. I definitely get that. All good points, all good points. So we liked it and we didn't like it all at the same time.
Yes, and if you want to watch it, please by all means, it's an hour and 25 minutes. It does not feel like an hour and 25 minutes.
It doesn't.
It's not the type of movie I felt like the beginning was slow, but not so slow that you're like put out of the movie. They're building the world in the beginning.
Right.
If you want to see this movie, please by all means do your homework first if you're somebody who's sensitive. But if you're not, you're a hard ass
Yeah.
like me,
Yeah.
or you just don't care, please, by all means, if you want to see it, see it. Support this movie, support the cast if you feel so inclined. But if you feel like, hey, this is one I can skip and maybe watch on Tubi or
Yeah.
watch on your eyelids when you're sleeping, by all means.
I do hope to see more from this, the people in the cast in the future. I'll
Yes.
say that. I do hope there's more um of that. I think that would be great.
Yeah.
So yeah. All right. Well, I don't have anything else to add unless you have anything else, any
Nope.
other fun things. All right. Well, that concludes our discussion about every trailer we saw at the movies and also The Woman in the Yard, which you please support if you feel so inclined. I
Yes.
don't regret going to see it. I do regret getting a large popcorn. I'm going to get a smaller one next time.
Yes.
But that's pretty much it. So until next time, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you on the other side.
Yes. Stay spooky, folks.
Bye.
Bye.